I like that we don't have to go. We don't have to do two. Remember, you had to stop and
No.
start for a little bit.
Well, as long as we keep them within a reasonable length, we're good.
Yeah.
That can be
Yeah, I
our
called
cutoff.
Scott last night for the Sunday night show. We talked to him live from Be Our Guest Restaurant, live on the air. I patched him in.
I saw that.
That was pretty fun. Right now, he's at Mama Melrose.
Ooh.
We could call him right now if we want.
So we're going down on Friday, but we have a couple things planned. Kelsey and her family are there. And on Saturday, Mike, we're eating at Beer Garden.
Oh, that's awesome.
Beautiful.
Brian wants to make that his like Father's Day tradition now.
Oh, seriously? I haven't been there in a while.
I approve.
I took him there last year for Father's Day, and he like is like, "Can we do this every Father's Day?" That we're down
every
here?
Father's Day.
Really? It wasn't that good? What did he like? What do you like?
You can remember, Brian is German, so like his background is very German, so he likes very German food.
I do like sauerbraten, like that,
great.
like that, and like the cabbage that they sort of have. With
I thought the food was pretty good too. Like they
Okay.
had a lot of meats.
Yes.
Meats, a lot of meats.
A lot of meats.
They have good desserts too.
They had good desserts.
Tons of desserts.
I found the sides to be quite delicious, actually.
Yeah. Potatoes and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the menu. Oh, they have spetzel. Yeah, and schnitzel.
That was good.
Okay.
That was good.
I don't know what any of that stuff is. I just eat it all. Like I just scoop it into my plate. I don't even know half of
like
that.
spetzel is like it's like a noodle. I think it's potato based noodle, but it has cheese on it.
Yeah, I don't really know what it is, but it's good eating. Oh man. I love it. And it's just so cute in there. Like it's
I
so
do love the inside. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I like that Rose Tavern or whatever in Fantasyland at
that's
cute. You said tavern? You know it's
tavern,
right?
it's not spelled like tavern. It's spelled like
tavern.
Is it not? I don't know. It's spelled fancy, so I pronounce it.
It's still pronounced as tavern.
I like it. I like you accentuated a different syllable.
I don't know. Red Rose Tavern.
No.
Tavern. Like when the gondolas.
Yeah.
Like there's all kinds of
Shut up.
There's all kinds of things. Yes, I like it. I like it. So that's how, like, when Mike is doing an accent, he just like, emphasizes a different syllable of the word.
Red Rose Tavern. I mean,
tavern.
It's fancy. It's like a fancy counter service.
Fancy, yes, it's a fancy.
And I always get
tavern.
my picture taken by the little mural that says "Be Our Guest" right by the door. It's so cute.
It is cute. There's a lot of little restaurants I think that are really cute in Disneyland. Like it's just very nostalgic.
Yeah.
I love that place. Great place for breakfast.
Yes, and we're doing Easter brunch at Raglan Road.
Oh, nice. Dude, nothing like a little step dancing over your Easter morning.
Those people serious. I know. They're serious dancers, so
for real.
Yeah.
Serious. Okay. Let me get a question. All right, everybody, you got questions over on the Instagram. I see you guys. I see Janet, and I can't even. Here's Pecos 1911 and Dan Martinez 33 and Disney Stats Wiz is over there. Mrs. Angeline Hill, Kat Coppersmith, and CP Fly. I can't.
It's like you're doing the romper room thing.
I can't read Instagram handles. Len's over here on Facebook. He's in the chat. What's going on, Len? We got Lennon B. Weasel over here on Twitter. Oh, what else? You can see Twitter. We can see Twitter comments for the first time. X. I still call it Twitter. I'm old.
I mean, yeah.
Because X is weird. It's an odd name.
I know. It's a very odd name.
I listen to this podcast, and this guy, every time he references Twitter, he calls it X, formerly known as Twitter. Every time. We know. You don't have to say formerly known as Twitter, dude. It's been a year. Let's say X or say Twitter. You don't have to say
6 months. I think
it's like the whole kind of Prince thing, though.
Yes,
it
is.
Yeah, it's the unpronounceable symbol that was the little horn looking thing.
I think after 16 years, maybe we should be an unpronounceable.
No, we are not going into that era. That's not our era. We're just gonna be like a microphone or something. No, we're not. That's undiscoverable. That would be bad for ratings.
That's true.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we could say formerly known as.
Formerly, yeah. We'd be formally heard. We'd be a formerly listened to podcast. All right, let's do a We got questions, but please put them in the comments. We like fresh comments. We got Lisa down in Mobile, Alabama. See, now my accent matters because Mobile is Mobile. It's not mobile. See, so tavern.
Yeah, there was a thing. Remember, I told you Deb always. Missouri.
Yeah.
Or Missouri.
It's not Missouri.
I say Missouri because I'm from St. Louis, but my relatives in Poplar Bluff say Missouri because they're from Poplar Bluff. They're from down by Arkansas.
And Deb always used to say Missouri, right? Yes.
That's wrong.
Oh my gosh. Jennifer visited Mallory. She had to have visited Mallory at her work. She must have gone to I forget what it's called. I think it's called Moe's. I don't even know what it's called. But Mallory now works at a fashion boutique. She's a fashionista.
Oh my gosh.
I know. She works at a fashion boutique. I'm so proud of her. Mod. That's what it's called. Mod.
Does she get a good discount?
Yeah, I think that's why she works there.
Yeah. I'm sure it is. Yeah.
I don't know if she's making any money because I think she turns around and spends it.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know. She's got to pay for her car insurance soon. So
I know there's a couple stores that I just wish would give me an hour every quarter so that I could get the discount. I'm like, this will be something that works for both of us.
Right. Exactly.
Plus, I'd love to organize stuff. So if I could just go in there and organize an area.
Fix list. And then.
Yeah.
There you go. I said it just like I'm from down there. Mobile. See, I'm Roll Tide.
Okay.
I'm about to sing some Rammer Jammer.
That's aggressive. It's feeling aggressive.
Last night after the Grand Canyon University, I started singing Rammer Jammer in the living room. My wife's like, they didn't beat the you-know-what out of them. They barely beat Grand Canyon University, and they're an online school. And I was like, my wife talking smack at 10 o'clock at night during the NCAA tournament. I'm like, shut up. Because Alabama barely beat Grand Canyon University in the tournament. She was right. She's like, dude, they're an online school.
So do they recruit if they're online?
You don't even 90% of their student body's online, but dude, they can play. I'm not playing. Do
they do a Zoom practice?
Yeah, that's it.
I know all the jokes were there. But they do have a university like in Arizona, I guess, by the Grand Canyon. I don't know where it is, but holy cow, they're pretty decent. Anyway, let's do this. Okay, here we go. So number before I start losing my mind about that game last night, because the game before they scored 106 points. I was like, what is happening?
I'm still working on the Zoom practice right now.
Yes.
Yeah, seriously.
I gotta work
the ball.
In my head. You're like, dude, I passed it to you. Why didn't you catch it?
Like a Brady Bunch situation or something.
Yeah.
Rikki.
I'm throwing it to you.
Yeah.
I caught it.
Yeah, exactly. See, when you don't come here early, you miss all the good stuff.
I made it.
Right. Yes, exactly. I shot from mid-court. And
I did a half court shot. It totally went in. You guys did you see that?
Hey, we can start the show. Rhonda Lee's here.
Okay.
We've been waiting.
We're waiting for you, Rhonda.
We've been waiting for Nova Scotia to check in.
Yeah.
I was looking north. Nova Scotia is in the house, so we can now start. Pam's had her Stanley drink, and we are ready to rock. Yes. I did notice another Stanley has shown up in my house. I swear, if we have one more Stanley hit this house, I'm gonna lose my mind because it's like they're multiplying, and I think that's what the girls are getting for Easter too. Which I'm like, stop.
Well, there's all kinds of different colors and stuff now.
They just came out with
I have one, and that's all I need.
I got one for Christmas, and I use it every morning on the treadmill. But yeah,
I just have my Disney stuff.
I do love how much it holds, though, right? And how cold
I will give you that. I will give you it. Man, the ice stays in there for 2 days. It's unbelievable how insulated that thing is. But it weighs a ton. It's so heavy. Anyway,
I know, but
not a Stanley commercial.
I only have to fill it up a couple times a day.
Oh yeah. Okay, here we go. 2459. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2459 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having a great week wherever this show finds you, as we are, well, for a lot of folks in that spring break week here in the week leading up to Easter. And hopefully you're just having a great time with friends and family and enjoying the spring weather. It's been a little bit wet here in the Midwest, but of course those, what do they say, the March showers? No, it's the April showers, bring May flowers. I don't know. I mean, it's been wet around here, but we need the rain. So We are hanging in there. Baseball starting here in the next couple of days for Major League Baseball. So summer around the corner. And I know a lot of folks like me getting excited for those summer Disney adventures that are coming up quickly. So today, of course, it's Wednesday. Time to answer your listener questions, getting you ready for that next Disney trip. So joining me today from the mouseforless.com and a Disney World After All.com part two. Yes. It's back.
It is back.
I'm back to life. We have Rikki. Rikki, what's up?
It is back from the dead. You are correct. Yes. No, just been having fun resurrecting the site for sure. So that's been good. And having fun, just hanging out with everybody, talking with everybody about, all the rumors and the news and everything. So, come on along, enjoy the fun. I'm on all the socials. So, we can have a conversation about all the interesting things that, Disney and Universal announced, because apparently there's some big announcement coming tomorrow from Universal. So I'm excited about that. I know you're not, Mike, but I know me and Pam are excited about this big announcement from Universal that's coming. So I think it's going to be epic.
Did you rumors that they might abandon that Epic Universe part?
No, incorrect.
We decided that not a good idea. Not going to happen.
No, wrong. So excited about finding out what they are going to be doing. But it's been a lot of fun. I've been having a really good time. So that part's good. So.
What if they decide to change the name from Epic Universe to Average Universe? Just like they decided they went too big and decided, it was like we might have oversold it. We're just going to call it Average Universe.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good with Epic, everything that I'm seeing. So
I might have thought that through.
I think so. I agree with him. Yeah. So.
Mediocre.
Yeah, no, I think that they've definitely had some meetings, and they thought, you know what, we're gonna just go with something a little more oomph. So epic.
Yeah, it does look pretty epic. I'll give you that. Give you that. All right. Also joining us, we have the co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel, who is going to be on an epic adventure herself next week. So we're glad she's here this week. We have Pam Forrester, co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel. I don't know if I said that, but short-term memory here. I'm like Dory. What's up, Pam? Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Yes, we are doing some time in the world and then some time on a Royal Caribbean cruise where I'm just going to look out at the ocean and enjoy.
Yay.
For a big part of it.
100 days actually for me today till I hit the fantasy. I can't wait either. Oh, nice. Not that I'm counting.
I know there's nothing like a cruise. Like there's something about just looking out at the water. I think just seeing there, you get to sort of disconnect in a way on a cruise that you don't, with all the other. There's no Genie. There's no Genie Plus.
I mean, I'm excited to look at like O'Gills. Trivia and stuff like that. But yeah, the water's cool too. I'm just excited to be on the ship. You know what? The one thing I missed on, and this is just me, I'm dumb, but I missed the deck 4 going all the way around on the Wish. I'm excited to just run. I love running.
I don't think you're going to get that on the Treasure or the new ship either.
No, but I'm going to be on the Fantasy.
Oh, that part's nice.
So you'll be able to see that.
Yeah, I love that. I get up early in the morning as the sun's rising, watch the sunrise, run around. Oh, man, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. That's this dude's cup of tea. All right, let's get to the first question of the day. It comes from Cindy, and she's in Mississauga, Ontario. So I probably mispronounced that, but I apologize for that, Cindy. She says, hello, BOGP crew. First of all, I want to thank you all. It's been a year that I've been listening, and I am overjoyed that I came across your podcast. I absolutely love it. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Cindy. My family, myself, my husband, and 7-year-old daughter is going to Walt Disney World in September. We have a 10-day trip planned, including 2 travel days and 5 park days. Here's my question. I'm thinking I may arrange to have Tinkerbell bring small gifts daily for my daughter. What types of gifts would or could Tinkerbell bring? Any suggestions you have will be greatly appreciated. Thank you all again for answering my questions. I always fangirl when I hear my questions on the show. With gratitude, Cindy. So first of all, this is a great question. Now let me say something that I was talking to Scott on the Sunday night show this week. We actually called Scott. I told him, I'm like, dude, you're taking the week off. I'm calling you wherever you are during the show, because we're going to do a man on the street live from your vacation, because I'm going to pat you into the board and we're going to do this. It's going to be fun. He just happened to be at the Be Our Guest restaurant. So it was like the most meta thing ever. The Be Our Guest podcast, calling the Be Our Guest restaurant while he was getting his gray stuff delivered. And we heard the waiter bring it out. It was pretty sweet. So you'll hear it tomorrow on the feed. It's at the very end of the show. Anyway, one of the things Scott brought up in passing, he probably didn't even mean to say it, but he said, we're talking about how long and how quickly time passes in our Disney fandom, that it's been like Be Our Guest restaurant's been around for quite a while at this point, right? And it was like all the new hotness. It's been a while since he's been there. And he said that as he was in there, he's kind of just taking it all in. And he was kind of surprised how many folks, how many guests were just walking around the restaurant, just taking it all in, like looking at the, the snowfall in the windows and going into the library, and it's like walking around and observing. And obviously these were first-time visitors to this restaurant. And we had this quick discussion, and it really made me think, and I've been thinking about this all day. It's been 24 hours now since we had this call, is that a lot of times for all of us that are into this, and we listen to podcasts every day about Disney, we're into the blogs every day, we're hardcore Disney fans. This is kind of our lifestyle thing. We love it and it's great. But we forget that probably 75% of the people at Walt Disney World, they're doing things for the very first time. Like this is their first experience with Slinky Dog Dash, or this is their first time maybe having a corn dog at Casey's, or this is their first time riding Dumbo the elephant. We've done this many times. We get a kick out of it every time. But we got to remember those people around us. A lot of times that's our first time having that experience. And how cool was that when we had that experience? So I just, I think sometimes we forget about it because it's our 78th time doing something. We love it. But because I forget, hey, that's not that person sitting next to me. This is their first time in the ABC commissary and they're taking it all in. I don't know. Sometimes I got to appreciate that. Not everybody has the same, story as me, and they're on the same track as me. I'm in there appreciating it, but I'm appreciating it in a way different way than the person at the other table. So that's just kind of an aside that I think it's kind of fun to think about. But let's talk about these gifts for Cindy. And Rikki, you're going to be on this truck here because Pam and I, we've been there, done that, with our kids here in the past. But, thank God we don't have to do this anymore because, it was fun back in the day, but I'm glad that I don't have to be this creative anymore because my creativity's kind of gone down the chute. But what would you think?
One of the things that I immediately thought of, and I know it can annoy some people, but maybe it's just something that stays at the resort or something. But even though that they have them in the parks, but I was thinking bubbles. You don't have to get the bubble wand that they, that Disney has. You can go get one at, a Walmart or something like that. I've seen them that are Disney related at Walgreens, things like that. So that's something. I was thinking sticker books, coloring books, that kind of thing. Even regular books, are a really great option. Like the little golden books are such a great choice and easy to carry along. So those were a couple of the initial things that I was thinking of. Was just something along those lines. So
yeah, I think those are solid choice. Those little golden books are solid because they become collector's items too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So, and I like what Becca said too, is the things that light up for fireworks and nighttime, which is also definitely a great option. So, glow bracelets or light up necklaces or, whatever along those lines is definitely a good choice as well. So, little bitty fans too. I've seen those. And that way, the little one can stay cool with a fan all the time. Definitely want to get one that has the foam, blades instead of, other kind of blades, plastic ones or things like that. But I feel like that's a decent choice as well. So especially one that maybe has a water mister to it because, it does get hot. Did they say when they were traveling? I don't know. If they did.
September, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still hot. So you definitely want the water mister for sure. So that's an option as well.
Back in the 70s when we traveled, they had metal fan blades.
Yeah, a little different. Little different.
I mean, Pam and I, we made it through with all of our digits somehow. I don't know how we survived it all, but we did. I mean, we did. So, Pam, what else did you remember from back? Those are all solid. I will say too, the dollar spot at Target is your friend for these
Absolutely.
and dollar stores and like Dollar Tree and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think autograph books is always good. And the big pens. I think that's something, that Tink would bring on early in the trip to sort of get that news. I think any of the hats, whether it's the ears or the headbands or whatnot, is a good thing just because so many people have those, or even the bows. There's so many decorated bows that you can get. I think that's a good thing. I think little like necklaces and rings and stuff like that are fun. I think it's just a thing, to have fun with. And I think too, even having like some snacks and stuff too for the day. Those are good for adults and kids alike that get a little, when someone gets hangry, it's good to be able to pull out a thing of goldfish crackers. And that sort of saves everybody's hangriness off for a little bit. But yeah, things like that. The other thing I think are really cute is you see them a lot now in the parks. They have little straw sippers and things like that. I think that those are so fun and not that expensive. So.
But then it turns into a Stanley habit, which
Stop.
It does. 15-year-old ends up having to have later, and the Easter Bunny has to bring Stanleys, and it gets expensive, and it gets carried away, and it's sick.
Well, there's something new for the Easter Bunny to bring every year.
Yeah, but stop. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. And let's see. So we have another suggestion here in the chat. Deanna, this is a great one. Character pajamas and swimsuits.
That's cute.
That is good.
Pack and practical. How about that? That's like a winter chicken dinner there. Thank you.
For sure.
Absolutely. I love it. And those, like Becca said, those are, like glow bracelets and stuff.
Yeah.
And you get what we've always said in the past too is like, they're so cheap. You can bring enough that you could share them like with little kids around you too. Like at the parades, like if you're waiting for a parade or something, fireworks.
Oh yeah. That's a good
one. Other thing I thought of is some sunglasses. I feel like that would be really good. Yeah.
Smart.
Really good.
Kevin just got hit in the life. Oh no, he didn't. Hang on. He's on Facebook. He said, just hit me. That we're going to be at Walt Disney World on Easter. So guess what? This Sunday, he's going to be at Walt Disney World. He says, any must-dos, Stacy. Oh, wait, we don't have Stacy here, but we do have Rikki and Pam.
We do.
So, Pam, what would you say? I mean, I would definitely try to find a deviled egg. That's my tradition. I guess homecoming. I'd have to go there. If I could.
Yeah, I think too. So if you go to Epcot, they have sort of that look for the little egg hunt that they always do. And that's a cute thing. If you haven't seen the chocolate they're chocolate and food egg displays at the different resorts, check those out. The Monorail resorts are a good spot. And then you can also hit the Epcot resorts if you're in that area to see those. I mean, I'm going to be there too. I'm doing brunch. I mean, that seems like a very Easter thing to do. So doing some brunch.
A couple of other things at the Magic Kingdom right now. You can meet Mr. and Mrs. Easter Bunny. So that's a really good option. They're only out for a limited time every year. And they're actually out earlier than I usually think that they are. So yay for them being out. The other thing is, and I don't know if they're having it this year, they've had it in the past, but again, it's one of those things that it just sort of happens on Easter weekend, is the little cavalcade parade thing that they have for Easter at the Magic Kingdom. It's usually only on Saturday and Sunday. So, but it's a really cute little parade. And it's never really announced or anything ahead of time. I mean, it literally is kind of like, guess what? We're doing the Easter parade. So you kind of got to be there and, know that it's happening. But it's a fun little parade. I love the parade so much. So I wish that they advertised it more because it's such a great little thing, but it is what it is.
I mean, that's what makes it special, though. It's like a hidden.
Yeah, but they advertise the little cavalcades that they do during the day, all the other time. So I wish that they would just advertise this one. Just put a little mention. Hey, we're doing the little parade today. So.
Mr. Easter Bunny looks kind of smart with his little glasses.
He does.
He does. He's dapper.
He does. Yeah.
All right. Justin says, hey, everyone. I just became a Disney Premier Visa card holder. How do I maximize my rewards? And what are the most valuable? So I am actually a Premier or whatever member of this, the one where you got to pay the $99 annual fee. Because I'm cheap, but I'm also, I do the math.
True.
Well, I use this card for everything. And just pay the balance every month, and it pays for my annual pass every year.
Yep.
And then some. Because I mean, one of the things you get is a 6 months no interest financing for like big Disney vacations, like your cruise and stuff like that. So you can pay it off over time over 6 months with no interest. That's one of the perks if you can use that. But also you get accelerated more than the 1% bonuses on your rewards for Disney purchases. Sometimes, and it's also sometimes for like gas purchases. Sometimes they have groceries. You just got to look at the Disney Visa site. I don't know exactly what they are because I use it for everything and just pay it off every month. But I mean, it can be because I don't like look monthly at what my rewards are. But then when it comes time to renew my annual pass, I just look at my balance and then bam, it usually covers it. But Rikki, do you have any thoughts?
That's the exact same thing I do. I use my card for literally everything. I pay bills with it. If they allow me to use a credit card, that I do that. I pay for every meal. I pay for gas. Everything goes on that card, and it's the only one that I have. So that that way I maximize my dollars. I, like you, I use mine to pay off my annual pass most of the time, but sometimes I actually use it for paying, like for a resort stay or something like that. It just kind of depends on what is going on, but usually it's my annual pass. And I just that's what I use it for. I mean, that's kind of I pay it off every single month to make sure that I get the most out of it. The other thing is I know that there are some special meet and greets that happen at the parks. There's one at Epcot that you can take part in. It's over by the Imagination Pavilion. And then do they still do the one with Darth Vader at Disney's Hollywood Studios? I want to say I've seen that's come back. So that's another option.
I think they do it at Disneyland.
I think that they brought it back at Disney's Hollywood Studios too. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm like 85% sure that they brought it back. I thought I saw somebody post about it somewhat recently. So, that there are a couple of things like that you can take advantage of when you're in the parks. But other than that, like I said, I just literally use it for everything and then pay it off at the end of the month and then use it for my annual pass.
Rock on. Okay, next question. Would you go to Disneyland in June or October, Pam? Which one would you pick? This is one day at a time over on YouTube.
I know, right? I think I would pick October, and I will tell you why. First of all, the weather in June isn't bad, but it also, Southern California has what they call June gloom. And that basically means that the weather patterns mean that it's going to be cloudy most of the time. And at some point during the day, those clouds will burn off, but the clouds don't always burn off. And so then that lends itself to one of the things that it's most impactful for, and this is interesting because my family has encountered this a few times, is it makes the pictures not that great, right? If you want a really great picture of the castle, it's sort of hard to get it with the June gloom going on when you're there first thing in the morning. And I think that you're going to find good weather in October. You also are going to have the ability to go to some of the Halloween stuff that is going on out there. And that's definitely worth seeing. Oogie Boogie and whatnot. So check those out for sure.
Yep. I agree with Pam. Yeah, I was going to say October. The Halloween activities that they have at Disneyland are so much fun. The Oogie Boogie Bash, if you can get tickets for it, that's a great option as well. Everything I've seen about it looks like it's so much fun. I haven't been in October. I've done the Christmas season and I've been in June. June was, I agree with Pam.
And it was awesome too.
Huh?
I've been the 4th of July and I like that. Yeah.
I agree with Pam, the June gloom. And actually it ended up being like cold a couple of days in June when I was there too. So, which that can happen at Disneyland anytime. Just keep that in mind. You may need to get a hoodie like I did.
We wore sweatshirts every night in July.
Exactly.
I could not believe it. Like
exactly.
our on. It was glorious. I mean, compared to, like, because I'm used to Walt Disney World where you just try to survive. You know, you're so hot.
But the other thing I was going to say is they do have some special overlays for Halloween as well. Of course, you have the Nightmare Before Christmas at Haunted Mansion. And then
stop there. Stop. I just gotta say, I undersold that. We talked about that for years on here, and I was like, boring. Like, I swear, every time you guys talked about that for like 15 years of this podcast, every time you would say about that, I'd just be like, dumb. And like in my mind, I'd just be like, who cares? And then I did it this past, when I was out for the race. I'm like, and I'm like the movie. I've said this. That is the coolest thing ever. So cool. Like, it is a totally different attraction.
It is a totally different attraction.
It is so cool. Anyway, it's worth the trip.
It is. It's very cool. And then they also do a Guardians of the Galaxy. So they'll do during the day, they have the regular, and then at night they have like a Halloween version as well, which is kind of cool. So there's a couple of reasons that I think you should choose October over June.
Good stuff. And GB Raps, I don't know if he's a rapper or if he maybe, I don't know. Instagram handles are always so interesting because it leaves you wondering. Like, I don't know. But he says
you should have a line to explain.
You should be required to tell, like, why do you have that weird Instagram handle or interesting Instagram handle, I should say. But he's headed to Walt Disney World. He's actually there as the show releases, and he's looking for Scott because he's staying at Coronado Springs as well. And by the way, you need to come to our Discord channel because Scott is killing it on the Discord, giving updates multiple times a day, everything he's eaten, everywhere he's going. He posted a video this morning as we were recording here on Monday. He went to Kilimanjaro Safaris first thing in the morning at Animal Kingdom, and he got that lion roaring on Pride Rock.
That's always cool.
That's cool.
Oh, I mean, but then I was like, dude, I'm sitting here in my office, like typing. And Scott is on Kilimanjaro Safaris with a lion roaring. I'm so jealous. But it was awesome to see. I'm happy for my buddy, but I'm still jealous. But anyway, he says Easter Bunny and his wife, I guess that's Mrs. Bunny,
yes,
are meeting by Sleepy Hollow. That's their spot.
Yeah.
I guess it's that spot where Tiana is sometimes. Maybe the old sleeping area.
Yeah.
It's like a little gazebo.
Yeah, gazebo, yeah.
Okay, so there we go. All right, so we appreciate that comment. Let's see here. Next thing is from, I guess it's Adele. She's one of my guests over at the Magic for Less, which I appreciate her so much. Over in Norway is where she's from. And she says, hello from Norway. Just came home from our first Disneyland trip and our first Disney Dream Cruise. And we managed 2.5 days at Walt Disney World too. We should have done more Walt Disney World days. But I mean, Pam, isn't that always the case? But I mean, how epic is that? She came all the way over from Norway and got to do a little Whitman sampler of North America Disney.
Right? Agreed. Yeah. Like you sort of hit them all. I think that's a fun thing, especially when you're coming over from another country to try to hit all of those things. But to get to do the cruise and Disneyland and Disney World, that's sort of an epic trip there. So you're going to have a lot of people jealous with that.
I agree. And it's always time to come back. You got to save up. You got to go back to
leave
work.
Leave something to come back to.
Exactly. And I believe Scotty G's headed your way over to Europe this summer is what I saw. So that's
nice.
Okay. So we have a question here from Philip. My wife and I and our 4 kids, their ages 1 to 12, are headed to Disneyland the week of July 4th. Okay, cool. It's our first time to Disneyland. We are doing both parks. We'll be doing 3 days between the 2 parks with park hopper tickets. We're planning to do Genie Plus as well. With that being said, what should we expect the week of the 4th of July at Disneyland crowd-wise? They're obviously must-dos, but anything that you've done that's a must. Okay, so we did 2022 4th of July. We were there for a solid week with the Gardeners. We had park hopper tickets like you. We did 5 days. We were staying at the Disneyland Hotel, so we were on site. And I mean, with Genie Plus and Park Hopper, here's the deal: the crowds were not a problem because with Genie Plus and the Park Hopper, it doesn't. Pam, I mean, the reason, I mean, I don't even know if it was crowded because we were constantly just going around the crowds. Because with Genie Plus, you could always just pick your next attraction. I mean, I don't even know if it was crowded. It didn't feel crowded. I mean, it probably was because of the 4th of July week, but we were constantly just riding stuff.
I think the Genie Plus and Disneyland, it works really well. And I get it all the time when I go there, like every day we get it. And that's not necessarily the case when I'm at World. And admittedly, I do go to World more than Land. But every time I'm at Disneyland, I do get it for those very reasons. Then we can, just sort of pick our days and make sure that we see all the top attractions that we want to see. At Disneyland, I think that some of the shows, they have some unique entertainment. So make sure that you build some time in for that. Maybe when you're waiting for something to happen, make sure you're looking at the entertainment. Of course, the fireworks at Disneyland, Fantasmic, it's going to come back, and also World of Color.
Yeah, and the thing is, sorry to interrupt, but Fantasmic for a Walt Disney World person, you might say, I've seen Fantasmic at the studios. Probably cooler because you get a whole stadium at the studios. But dang, like, I'm just telling you, you get a pirate ship. I don't want to spoil it, but it's and you're standing, and it's like it's like an up close and personal experience too at Disneyland. You gotta see it. I mean, if you miss it, you're gonna regret it. You gotta see Fantasmic.
I agree. I will tell you. So, as a frequent World visitor, the one area of Disneyland where I don't feel compelled to see every time we go, or compelled to do all the attractions, is Galaxy's Edge.
Yep, I knew that answer.
They're almost exactly the same.
Yep.
Yeah. The only time I've seen Galaxy's Edge in 3 trips out there, the only time I've been in there is when I ran through there in the race. That's the only time I've been in there.
Yeah, because you do get to see so much of them in World. It's a place that you're frequently at, or that we're frequently at. Now, the thing, of course, that will change that is, the fireworks and all of that, so that are happening out there soon. So that's something. But I would just be there for the fireworks, and so I'll move on. But yeah, that's the one location where. And that always works in my favor, because the line to go see Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland every day is huge.
Yes.
So many people are heading there that we can knock out a bunch of other stuff in the morning, or see things that I don't traditionally get to see. Like, I mean, when you see people running to Galaxy's Edge, you can walk over and do Big Thunder and Pirates easily. So, I mean, it's something to think about when you're out there.
Yes, and please rope drop Fantasyland. Like, for somebody that's never been to Disneyland, rope drop Fantasyland, because you're going to get a ton done, and there is something magical about Disneyland and Fantasyland at park opening. You'll see characters just walking around. You'll see the evil stepsisters riding the carousel. I mean, it is like, honest to God, it's like a Disneyland. It's like a Disney commercial for like the first couple of hours. It still blows my mind. Like, being in Fantasyland from like the first couple of hours of park opening, it's like, oh my God, this is the wildest thing ever. Like, am I in a commercial?
And the lines are so short in the morning.
You come out of one attraction, you are literally like 10 feet away from the next attraction.
Yes.
Anytime going to the next one.
You can knock out all the dark rides in like 20 minutes. I mean, truly.
You can.
So.
It is the best. And here's the other thing too, Rikki, and maybe back me up on this too. You're not so tied to like table service, like where we're going to eat, all that kind of stuff at Disneyland. You can really kind of snack your way or counter service yourself a way around almost your entire trip. I mean, of course, you might want to have a table service restaurant reservation here and there, maybe one a day even, but it just doesn't feel like you're so planned at Disneyland.
No, it's true. And I feel like that's the case because there aren't as many table service dining establishments at Disneyland overall. Even when I've been there and was looking for a dining, a table service dining reservation, it was difficult to find because there are so few and a lot of people take them, get them up. But B, there just aren't as many table service dining locations in the parks. Yeah, there's a number of them out at Downtown Disney District, but a lot of those are third party. Most of those are third party in the first place. So if you're looking for an actual like Disneyland restaurant, you're more likely to enjoy a counter service meal, and the counter service meals are really good out there too. So don't discount those. They're excellent, and their snacks are really good, obviously, out there too. So I mean, if you're not getting a corn dog from Little Red Wagon, you are doing it wrong. I'm just saying, you've done your vacation wrong at that point.
I mean, there's actually, the corn dog is good too at the place in Frontierland, right around the corner. I always got to go by that petrified tree. I love the petrified tree. And it's right by there. Is it by the Golden Horseshoe? It's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Horseshoe. What's that place called? Stagecoach.
Stagecoach. Yeah.
And the place in downtown Disney is too.
Yep.
No, they have pickle dogs. No.
Yes,
No.
they have all kinds.
They're
of
so good.
Veto the pickle dog. No, thank you.
No, don't do it.
No,
I just
good.
love Disneyland. Like, I mean, when you're at the Disneyland Hotel, you're walking through downtown Disney, and then you're at two parks. Like, everything is so close. Oh my goodness, it's so great. Okay, we got to stop. Thomas has a question. Thomas Burke, our good friend, he's actually going to join us on the show hopefully here very soon. He says, post cruise in August, one night at a Walt Disney World resort after the cruise before we fly home. Grand Floridian or the Polynesian. Not going to a park and trying to avoid construction interruptions if possible this August. So if he's looking to avoid any construction, to be the Grand, right?
The Polynesian construction is not impacting most of the guests there. The Grand construction has pretty much, wrapped up. They're doing a few things, but most of the Polynesian construction is going on in that one side of the resort. Like if you're looking at the Great Ceremonial House over to the left. So if you really don't want to see any construction at all, I guess the Grand would be there. But I think both of them have so many great pluses. And the other thing you're going to want to think about, especially in August, is that you're going to want to spend time in the pool. So think about which pool is more appealing to you. But I wouldn't hesitate to stay at either one of those resorts right now.
Which pool? Volcano pool gets the nod over the Grand pool? I mean, I guess. Yeah.
I don't know. I say, like, as I've gotten, I don't know. Since Hannah's not a young kid anymore, that main pool at the Grand, the big pool at the Grand is very appealing. And the seats are very plush there.
They are very plush. Yeah.
That would be that would be my choice, but everyone has different, different important things to them when they're looking at the pools. So.
Rikki, which pool? Feature pool, Poly or Grand?
I mean, I get Pam's desire for the lush chairs at the Grand Floridian. Those are definitely nice chairs. But if you're looking for a fun overall experience, I'm going to say in the Polynesian. I think that's just going to be a little bit better for that. But I mean, if you're looking for like ultimate like spa relaxation pool sitting, I think then the Grand Floridian is your choice.
The Poly keeps the cruise experience kind of going on, keeps that vibe going. You can have the tropical drink. You can kind of sit there and look over the beach in the volcano pool because you can see the sand. You can see the castle. Mm-hmm. You can see Discovery Island there in the middle. Depends. And if you just kind of want to go fancy to ease your way back to reality, the Grand. You can't go wrong. My family, we're going straight to the airport after. And this is what I tell people never, ever to do. But because of scheduling, we have to go right to the airport after our cruise. And this is going to be the biggest kick in the teeth. I'm already hating it. We're going down the day before, right? To spend the night because that's what you do. I don't want to
have to do that.
I'm not going to miss the boat. And that drone show is perfect for what we're doing, right? Because we're not going to have theme park tickets. So we're going to go over to Disney Springs, watch the drone show the night before the cruise. That's perfect. But oh my God, it's going to be a kick in the teeth. I hate that when you get back and you're parked where you started and you look out your veranda and you're back in the port and then we're going to get booted off the ship and you have the worst, you get that sad breakfast. Everybody's and then you got to go to the airport and get on the airport. Oh my God. I'm already sad about July 13th. I know the date already. Oh my, stop. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about it yet. By the way, the pickle dog's getting all kinds of love in the chat.
The pickle dog's fantastic, truly.
What is wrong with you people?
Kevin and Brandon love the pickle dog. Just saying.
It's so good.
My face is literally the green, want to throw up face. That's the face. Like, no.
Well, we appreciate that on audio podcast.
Yeah, I know. Let's go with the emoji.
Reality check. All right, Eric Matterhorn. He's actually tuned in on Twitch. I love that we're everywhere. People are just tuned in all over the place. Says pros and cons of upgrading a multi-day ticket to an annual pass in the middle of your trip. I would like the discounts, but not having to make reservations while my family has freedom to start in any park. Yeah, there's all kinds of variables with this nowadays because we annual pass holders still have to make theme park reservations daily, which during busy times could be a challenge. Like right now, this week is kind of a challenge, but people that are on packages right now are living the sweet life. I don't know about Zach and Cody, but they don't have to make any more theme park tickets or theme park reservations, because with those packages with date-based tickets, that is a thing of the past. So Pam, what would you say to Eric's question? Pros and cons.
This is hard. It's really hard, actually. So I think that the fact that if you think you're going to come back and you want to, you're going to use that annual pass upgrade, I always caution people, because there was this point in time when people said if you were going to 8 days or more in the parks, you should upgrade. And that is very old thinking and outdated and could cost you some money, because you need a much longer stay to make that annual pass worth it, especially when you consider too the discounts that they have had for annual pass member or pass holders aren't as great as they used to be. They're blocked out a lot of times on weekends, and the general public discount is a decent discount too. So I caution people on that. But I do think if you're going, as long as you upgrade before you use the last final day of your ticket, then you're fine in that space to do that. So, I think of even the last day you could.
Yeah, but I haven't thought about like how that would impact. Like you'd have to make theme park reservations now because you'd have a different ticket. Well, I guess if you did it on your last
day, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so then
last day, so that trip isn't impacted.
Exactly.
But that would be the challenge on your next trip. If the family has different ticket media than you would be having to do that.
You'd have to make two separate. Yeah. I mean, in theory, you should be able to do it all at once. And so, yes, you would have to.
Vanessa's got a question in the inbox. We are taking we are taking a break from Walt Disney World in 2024. We've decided to take our 4 kids to Disneyland for the first time in July. We're also lucky enough to do a kid-free cruise in October this year. While I'm excited for these 2 new experiences, I'm also feeling like we are missing out on our annual Walt Disney World trip. We're already booked for our spring break trip for 2025. Thanks, Mike. So I know it's not too far away. Please help me with this FOMO, telling me your favorite Disneyland and Disney Cruise Line experiences. Thanks, Vanessa. She's in North Carolina, where the basketball teams are doing well this year. By the way. All right. So first of all, you're going to be okay. And thank you for your support too, Vanessa. I appreciate it so much. That's awesome. Don't feel the FOMO, because you're going to Disneyland in July. And I think for the last 20 minutes of this show, we've gotten you amped up about how cool Disneyland is. You're going to have a blast. I mean, the thing is, what's going to be good is going to Disneyland and kind of not going to Walt Disney World this summer is going to get you jacked for when you go back to Walt Disney World. I think that's what it's about. I think that's why I've been so amped up about Disneyland, is because while it was still kind of familiar when I got out there for the first time in 2022, and I've been out there 2 other times subsequently, it's familiar, but it was still, it wasn't what I've been doing like every 6 months, every 9 months, every year. And it was fresh, and it wasn't just the old, same old, same old. So when you stay away from something for just a little bit, it gets you jacked up to get that new experience again. So I think the FOMO is going to reignite your fire, is what I say. So embrace the FOMO, embrace the time away from Walt Disney World, and enjoy the cruise, enjoy Disneyland, because you're still getting your Disney fix, and you're getting it in what I would argue right now, if I had to rank my excitement for, I love Disney Cruise Line, I love Disneyland, I love Walt Disney World, all for different reasons. But there's no one or the other that's better than the other. They're just different experiences. And you're going to love all 3. So, Rikki, what would you say to Vanessa's little FOMO? I don't think she has anything to worry about.
No, absolutely. Kind of the nice part about, yes, you have a trip booked for Walt Disney World. So, that part's great. But the nice part about Disneyland and also a Disney cruise is it still gives you the Disney feels, but it gives you, like you said, totally different experiences. So at Disneyland, yeah, things will feel familiar, but totally different. And that's a really cool thing. With Disney Cruise Line, it's a whole other ball of wax. I mean, there's just something so special about a Disney cruise. It's so hard to put your finger on what it is. Matter of fact, I'm literally looking up Disney cruises as we speak to try to figure out how Brian and I can get on one at the end of the year, maybe. So, you know, like there's something so special about a Disney cruise that just makes it just, yes, it's a totally different experience. It's familiar in the sense of like you get the Disney characters but there's this level of just incredibleness that will make you not feel like you're missing out on anything, because a Disney cruise is just that fabulous. So I think you're going to be fine. And the great part, like Mike said, is yes, you'll have a trip for Walt Disney World, you know, already on the books. So you're good there. And, you know, I've done this a few times where I haven't, well, I guess I can't say I haven't gone to Walt Disney World because I go all the time now that my family lives down there. So it's a different experience for me, but I don't take necessarily vacations to Walt Disney World. It's been a long time since I've been down there for like a week. And maybe I need to go back to that. We always do the 3-4 day weekends just quick so we can get in and, you know, see my family, do get some Disney time. And yeah, I kind of do miss the long vacations, and maybe that's what we end up doing this year. I don't know. I'm still thinking, but you know, like I said, you're not going to miss out because Disneyland is so special and Disney cruises are so special that it's just going to feel magical either way. I promise. It's going to feel so great.
I agree. So Pam, final thought here for Vanessa. She doesn't have anything to worry about. She's actually, I think she's going to come out on the other side ahead.
I agree. I mean, I totally identify with this because when you plan something new or different, you're always like, but I love the other thing that I usually do so much that you know, that you're worried about that. But I think it really will just be a different fun experience, just as fun, if not more so. And like Mike said, I think there's that whole, because we, all three of us, none of us visit Disneyland as much as we do World, just because of where we are. And there is always something that feels a little like I don't quite have it figured out. And that sort of feels like makes me anxious, but it sort of feels really cool that I'm getting to experience something new. It's that sort of spirit of adventure, sort of, I think, that really is there when you're visiting Disneyland, just because we don't visit as much. And hopefully you encounter that too. You'll find so many little hidden, unexpected bits of magic there. And the cruise, the same thing. It's a different, but equally, if not more awesome experience. So have a good time. Just enjoy.
And both of those experiences are a little bit more relaxing than Walt Disney World. Like they're a
100%
little bit more chill. So I think you'll love it.
100%.
They're a lot Disney and a little bit more chill, both of them. So
yeah,
take it all in. All right. Well, that is going to do it for today's listener question show. You have questions, drop them in the inbox. It's Mike at beourguestpodcast.com. Just put the listener questions in the heading there and we'll get them right away here on the show. But here's the cool thing that I've been noticing over the past few weeks. Our listeners are helping each other out almost immediately with any kind of trip planning questions we have. We had a listener the other day that she was making her ADRs the next day. And she had this beautiful spreadsheet color-coded with her plans for the trip, for an 8-day trip. And she wanted somebody to look it over and say, you know, help me with my ADRs, but I'm making them tomorrow morning, you know, kind of a last minute thing. It was that afternoon. She threw them up in the Discord and everybody started critiquing this. And it was like a fun game. And she came out of it like by 9:00 that night with just so many great suggestions for ADRs. And it was just so cool to see our community come together on the Discord channel. And everybody's just, you know, hey, have you thought about Chef Mickey's? Have you thought about Cinderella's Royal Table? Have you thought about going to Homecoming? Because this person likes that kind of food. It was so much fun. So coming over on the Discord, we have all kinds of live chat going on 24/7. And by the way, Scott's down at Walt Disney World and he's updating this sucker with pictures and stories and all kinds of stuff constantly. So again, it's beourguestpodcast.com/Discord. We'll see you over there. Also, don't forget our show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure for no cost to you. So check out all the details right now over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That really helps us out as well. Just go to beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Click through there. And thank you to our Patreon supporters. You guys are the all-stars that make all these podcasts possible. Couldn't do it without you. So again, check us out at patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. And you'll get a bonus show every week. It's called Mike in the Midwest. We'd love to have you over there. Give us a follow on the social media. I'm at beourguestmike on all the socials. Ricky's at Rikki Nibs. Pam is at TMFLT Pam, but again, we're hanging out over on the Discord at beourguestpodcast.com/Discord. And we'll have a live show this Sunday night. I know it is Easter, but I should be able to come to you live after eating all the ham and potatoes and about 12 deviled eggs, because my mother-in-law, or no, actually my sister-in-law makes the best deviled eggs, and she'll be over there with them because she is not allowed into the house unless she brings the deviled eggs. And I've heard that she is bringing them. So it'll be good. I might even have one on the air with you Sunday night. So 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. All right, we're going to be back again on Friday talking about all the current Disney announcements. We're going to kind of give our thoughts on those. The Disney Destiny, Season of the Force at Disneyland. What else do we have? Drones at Disney Springs. We have all kinds of stuff. The Jabba the Hutt popcorn bucket. That deserves 5 minutes at least.
Stop.
What's that little guy's name? The guy that sits next to him.
Salacious. I think his name is Salacious, is what
Salacious
I wrote down
Crumb.
today. Yeah,
Salacious B. Crumb. Yeah.
Salacious B. Crumb. They need a.
Yes.
So he should be the sipper, right? I mean, right? Should he?
No, he's a little.
What could he be? He could be a salt pepper shaker or something. He's got to be like what? Because you need salt with your popcorn.
No, he's just a little hanging doodad.
I just came up with the greatest idea on the fly.
I know.
You get the popcorn bucket with Jabba the Hutt, and Salacious Crumb is he's a little salt shaker that when you shake him, he goes like he does in Return of the Jedi. Oh my gosh, I am so good. Dennis is in the live chat on Facebook. He's got to agree with me. That was the dumbest idea ever, but it's the best idea ever at the same time. Anyway, we're out of here. We'll be back on Friday. You too. We're going to have a good time. We love you guys. So until then, you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
Holy cow. My browser just shut down out of nowhere.
Like you're fading, like you were dark and then you were gone.
I was like, what is happening? Oh. And then I sneezed.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, and I was going to answer Catherine's question, but I never got the question never showed up. I was waiting, and I got the first part of it, but the question never showed up. I got the background there. Do you see it in the chat?
Let me see.
From Catherine Coppersmith. It says, now to my quote, and then it stopped. See it? Wait.
My question is,
at the end, it says, now to my QU, and then it never got to the question. I was expecting it would be in the next part.
Oh, yes. It doesn't ever show up.
So I was like, I was trying to wait. So Catherine, just email it to me, Mike at beourguestpodcast.com, and I'll lead off the next show with it. Because I was trying to stall.
It does never get to that point.
It doesn't. Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, it's in the chat. Well, I don't see the chat. I only see what's on the screen here. I don't see that.
Yeah, we can't go to Facebook because it has a delay. So then we'd be hearing two different things. Oh,
there it is. Plan doing 2 days at the studios. What's your favorite Taylor person? Okay, so we'll answer that next week. But Catherine, if you could just shoot that to my email, that'd be great. Just copy it and paste it, Mike at beourguestpodcast.com, and I'll definitely answer it first next week. Okay, so let's talk about the news. Rikki, pull up your news.
Yep, I got it. We're
good. Here we go.
Okay,
let's do it. This one will not be as long. Here we go. 2461. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2461 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from Be Our Guest Podcast. Hang on. There we go. 2461. Welcome to episode 2461 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're getting ready for a great Easter weekend here around the country and that you're going to, hopefully the Easter Bunny brings you lots of chocolate. You get those good eggs with the caramel on the inside. Not that I don't even know what those cream eggs are all about. I'm not a big fan of those, but caramel on the inside, the Cadbury is the way to go. And then, get all that. We get the old honey baked ham on Sunday. Not that I'm looking forward to that already, but yes, I am. I can't wait because family's coming over and we enjoy sitting around the big table on Sunday and celebrating Easter here in the Rallman household. So today we're going to get you there with some fun Disney talk, and we're just going to talk about, well, all the news that has been dropped here in the past week or two, because we got a lot of stuff going on with Disney, and we just thought it'd be fun to just give our thoughts on things. So today, joining me, and she's going to be leading the conversation because she is, she's a news girl at heart. We have Rikki from the mouseforless.com and a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com, where I thought I saw a story leading off the other day about some girl jumped in the Sassagoula River.
That's not me. I'm the no clickbait website.
Okay,
that's my whole shtick. Okay. No clickbait. I'm not gonna tempt you with the is Taylor Swift gonna be at Disneyland after the Super Bowl? No, I'm not gonna do like that's not gonna be me. Like I'm not gonna say, oh my God, you won't believe it. What's happening at Tiana's Bayou Adventure right now? That's not going to be me. Like that's not it. I'm sorry. You'll actually get the news that you want to get, not the extra stuff, none of the fluff. So that's what I'm here for.
A frog jumped in Tiana's Bayou Adventure. What?
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's the article. Oh, how did you know? A frog jumped into Tiana's Bayou Adventure. There you go. That's it. Yes.
It was actually a toad. Breaking news. It was a toad. It wasn't a frog. So yeah, go there. We'll be talking about that as we go through some recent stories, because lots going on in the Disney universe. But speaking of, Pam getting ready to head out to sea on a cruise here over the next couple of days. Pam Forster, co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel. Pam, are your bags packed and are your sea legs ready to hit the sea?
Bags are packed, ready to go. Yes. The countdown is on, as they say, now to see if I can get all the things that I need to get done before we leave.
So give me this because we got Dennis in the chat. Dennis is in it. He sails the world with Disney Cruise Line. He's one of my great guests over at the Magic for Less. I love it. He goes on med cruises with his family. He's done Caribbean cruises, and he knows how it is. And I'm curious because we all cruise are different ways, but what's your first like couple of hours on a ship like? Whether because you're sailing Royal this time, you sail Disney Cruise Line most of the time, but everybody kind of has their kind of thing as they arrive on board. Like sometimes a lot of folks, first thing we do is go to the buffet, grab something to eat, but maybe you do that first. But after that, or if you don't do that, what do you do? Like, what's your first initial couple hours on the ship like?
We usually do get on in time to like have lunch or whatever, at whatever restaurant we choose to go to. And then what we usually do is head up to the top deck and sort of work our way down the ship. Especially if it's a ship we haven't been to in a while, or it's a new ship to us or whatnot. The ship we're going on now, I have been on before a couple times, but still, it just sort of refreshes your memory as to, okay, yeah, this is here. This is on this ship. This is where it's located. Make a note. We want to do this later. Look at this, make sure. And we just sort of get the lay of the land. And then hopefully by the time we sort of do all those things, then we have, it's ready and our stateroom's ready and we go there. I'm an unpacker. But I do it really quickly because we have the packing cubes and then I have bags for everything else, like a toiletries bag and whatnot that gets hung, everything like that. So we do that. And then we just go have fun. We just focus on having fun the rest of the time. I like the cruise because there are things you could do or things you could absolutely not do and just go sit on deck or go enjoy the pools or whatever.
So you sail other lines more than I do. I've sailed Royal a couple times, Freedom of the Seas back in the day. Do other lines tend to have such a big deal with the sail away party as Disney does? I mean, Disney, like everybody goes to the sail away party. Like it's really very few people miss that. Is that such a big deal on other lines?
No, it's not as big of a deal. I don't think. I mean, other cruise lines really don't have characters or things like that. So that's something. But I think the thing is there are certain ports where it's more interesting to sail from. And so therefore, a lot of people are out. Like when you're cruising from Seattle, you'll see a lot of people out because it's a really beautiful sail out at that point. If you're cruising from Bayonne, you could be going under or near a bridge. So that's something that a lot of people do. In fact, there's a bridge that you do sometimes go under that it seems like you might not clear. I mean, it's sort of a tight thing. So that kind of thing. But yeah, there is definitely some fun stuff to see, but yeah, it's not quite as big as it is with Disney. And I think Disney, when you have characters, that sort of makes any celebration bigger. So
I could see the captain like, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to be going under the Brooklyn Bridge, and we are going to ask you not to have that extra dessert until we clear the bridge, and then once we're clear, you can indulge on the midnight buffet. Captain out.
Well, they actually want you to have the extra dessert so that you're sitting a little lower.
Take that back. This is your captain. We're going to open up the buffet early. Everybody indulge, and let's eat it up, and we're going to clear that bridge with about 6 inches to spare.
Exactly. So anyways, but yeah, there are definitely some really cool ports to sail from, and a lot of ports in Europe are great ones to see too, and a lot of really interesting sailing into different ports too. So but yeah, no character. So I think that just
I'd be a terrible captain because I would have clunked the bridge because I would have had people not eating and we'd been too light, and then boom, we'd have smoked it and been like, oh dude, we should.
You would have had to do the water displacement lesson.
Exactly. I'm terrible because I'm not like Norwegian, like got to.
That's right.
Navy, and I'm Mike from the Midwest. Anyway, not a good. If you see Mike from the Midwest up at the helm, you just want to get off that boat. All right, so Rikki, let's I'm going to lead the conversation. Let's talk about Seasons of the Force this summer at Disneyland, because the Force is strong with this podcast, and Dennis is in here. Dennis is strong with the Force. He's a part of a Disney podcast, and he knows his stuff way better than we do. But the first thing I saw was, and I thought this was ingenious because we were talking about this on Wednesday. None of us ever go to Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland because we love all the other stuff that's at Disneyland, and we get our Galaxy's Edge fix. Tend to do that out at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Florida. But kind of the lead story that I saw when I was looking at this when the news broke about a week ago at this point was that you can get this perspective of the fireworks.
Yes.
What they call it, like the glowing two moons or something, but you only get it if you go into Galaxy's Edge to watch the fireworks, which I thought great idea because it doesn't cost them anything extra. It's still the same fireworks, I guess.
Right? Yeah. It's called Fire of the Rising Moons is what. And It's a nighttime experience that will debut a different view of the Disneyland Park fireworks display with music. So I'm guessing
John Williams, right? I mean,
by John Williams.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that it'll be the regular fireworks display for everybody else. But if you're visiting in Galaxy's Edge, you get a totally different fireworks experience because of the music and everything.
I think they're probably setting off some fireworks in a little different location so that you get to see that there.
That's good. I was very confused as to how they were going to do that. Yeah.
And then your Magic Band Plus is going to do fun stuff because they want to pull that in and whatnot. So I think I think it's kind of cool. I mean, and I think too, it does one of the very, very needed things of drawing people away from the hub. And I think that it's needed in all locations, because if you offer people a good location to view the fireworks from, I know, like I always say, see it once in front of the castle. And then after that, you don't have to see it from there.
Right.
There's some really great locations. In front of It's a Small World is actually a great location too. And you even have a good view at Rivers of America. They're different views, but they're good views.
It's not as important to see it in front of the castle at Disneyland, I'll say.
No, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah. So
it's not as impressive. But real quick, if they don't, because I've been watching the prequels on the treadmill. I don't know why, but I'm through Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, because they're going to put that out on May 4th at the theaters, Phantom Menace, and I'm probably going to go see it again. It wasn't that bad. But if they don't use that I think the song that score is called. It's that one where like something of the fates, like din, 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 where like Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan are fighting what's his name, Darth Maul, Dude, if they played that during the fireworks, oh my God, I'd lose my mind. That'd be so cool. Because with the red fireworks and the 2 moons or whatever Ricky's talking about. Oh, let's go. Give me my Java sipper, my popcorn bucket.
No, popcorn bucket, yes.
$50. Here it is. Schema Magic Band. I'm in. No, okay. But popcorn bucket, gotta have it.
Yes.
So, but yeah. So let's jump to that. I mean, that's gonna be epic.
Yeah, right.
Let's go with epic. I have questions, but did we need a Jabba the Hutt popcorn bucket? I'm not sure.
Yes, we did.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
Got it. Okay,
we needed it.
Perfect. Cool. And apparently, it comes with a detachable Salacious B crumb.
Oh, it does? I didn't even know there was a Salacious crumb. I was making that up on Wednesday.
No, seriously. I thought you knew.
No, I had no idea. I thought it was just Jabba. I was
I totally thought you knew.
No, I had no idea.
Yeah,
it comes. I mean, he has to have a sidekick. It's like R2-D2.
Yes,
you can't not have one or the other. Shut up.
There's a lot of things that Jabba can't do. He's
got to have somebody going.
I absolutely thought you knew that was a thing that was coming with it.
I was looking at Jabba because he's like the main man. You know.
No, it's a little detachable Salacious B crumb that's coming with it. No, it's not a salt shaker. It's just like a little plastic piece. But anyway, that's coming with it. He doesn't
do anything.
He just comes with.
People make him into a salt shaker. Dump some salt in it.
Besides that, though, there's another really cool popcorn bucket as well. That's a salvaged stormtrooper helmet bucket, which is also really neat. And they're also going to have a Millennium Falcon bucket, and they'll have a Grogu sipper, as well as a Death Star glow cube, which is kind of fun too. And a Millennium Falcon glow cube. So they have like all the merch if you're looking for that. But then they're also going to have a lot of different, food items and beverages that kind of tie into the whole season of the Force, which, by the way, the dates for that, because we did not mention that, are April 5th through June 2nd at Disneyland. So just for those who may be going, that's when you'll be able to do it. And there's a couple of other things that are happening there. So you're also going to get to see some of those new adventures that are kicking off with Star Tours. The adventures continue. So you may get transmissions from Ahsoka Tano, Cassian Andor, or Grogu. And you're going to get to see the new planet that I can't pronounce, Paradia, from, I think it's from the Ahsoka series. Clearly I haven't watched any of these things, so I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, it's going to be really cool to have at least some new areas that we can, see on Star Tours, which is really awesome. And it allows for even more opportunities of different experiences as well. So that's kind of cool. And then Hyperspace Mountain is returning, which I have done. It is so much fun. Hyperspace Mountain is great. So that's another really cool thing as well. So Season of the Force sounds like it's a season to be reckoned with. Not going to lie.
Force is strong. Is there not a hard ticket event too that goes along with this? It's really
there is. Yes.
Disneyland After Dark Star Wars Night.
Yes.
And I'm not sure. I don't know the details. Somebody fill us in here.
It is. Yeah. So it's different nights. It starts April 16th and goes through May 9th. I don't know that there's a ton. There's probably like 10 different dates through there. It is an after hours event. So it is an extra cost for that. But everyone sort of likes these after hour events. Yeah. So it's a separate event ticket. It does let you in 3 hours before the parks close. But then there's going to be all kinds of different things you can do. And a lot of these were things that we sort of did on Galactic Star Cruiser. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
That's cool.
You're going to be doing lightsaber instructions. There's going to be a costume cavalcade. So that's kind of cool. And you do get to get dressed up in your Star Wars costumes. So that's really cool too. There's going to be, of course, theme photo opportunities, things like that. So I'm really interested. We're doing this, and I want to see what it's like, and I'm excited about it. Like, I can't wait to sort of go. I'm pulling out, of course, my Star Cruiser outfit so I can wear it again. I never thought I'd get to wear some of that again. So I'm like, oh, this is awesome. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think the cool like photo things, and of course they're going to have food that's only available at these events, so people will like that too. But I like it when Disney does stuff like that, when they have a theme, and I think it really gives them a good indicator of how many people are into this theme, how quickly do these tickets sell out, how well are they attended, things like that. So I'm looking forward to it. They're like all in with the Star Wars thing. So
I think this will be insanely popular. I mean, if I had to guess, I think that intersection of Star Wars and Disney fans, especially at that time of the year, because it's around May the 4th, there's going to be a lot of buzz with the 25th anniversary of Phantom Menace in the theaters. Mm-hmm. It's going to be big. I would love to go to this, and that merchandise all looks super cool. And I'm not even a huge collector. I'd love to have a Jabba popcorn bucket. If I was out there, I'd totally have it. I'm not a popcorn bucket collector, but I keep saying that even though I have a few.
I know that's what happens. That's what happens. I'm like, that's me too. I'm like, I don't collect the popcorn buckets except for the balloons. Can
I just say, I'm still bitter that they didn't bring the Easter buckets over from Disneyland over to Walt Disney World. I really wanted that Chip and Dale one, and I wanted the Donald Duck Easter egg sipper. I thought for sure they'd bring it, and they didn't. I'm so sad.
Here's the thing about popcorn buckets in general, just real quick, is like they're kind of like neat little souvenirs they kind of look retro. They're kind of almost like something you would have bought like in the 70s or 80s, and their price point isn't terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're almost a little practical. Like you can display them on a shelf, and they're kind of fun. They remind you of your vacation, but they're usually like $25 or $30. Like they're not terribly expensive, and there's something that you can look at, and they're kind of fun. And you get the popcorn you don't have to put in them, but you get a box of popcorn with them too. You get a little snack.
True.
So really, they're not terrible. No, that's how I look at it. Because I mean, there's a lot of things.
They're terrible to get home if you're flying.
Oh yeah,
that's the terrible part.
I ball out. I just put the sucker around my neck and just carry it onto the plane.
You're like, it's a necklace.
Yes,
I'm like a flavor popcorn buckets. When I rock on my Southwest flight, you two carry-ons and a Jabba the Hutt around the neck. Whoa.
Mike's gonna go walk on with 4 popcorn buckets around his neck.
These are my necklaces.
I don't know what you're talking about. Stow your articles. This is an article of clothing.
I'm not trying to dive into my sour cream and fried popcorn. Get out of there. Whatever. Jabba. Okay, is there anything else for Season of the Force? Should we go on?
No, I think that's pretty much it. It just looks like it's going to be a really fun event.
Fun.
Let's to see. Let's talk about the Disney. And by the way, so I've talked to the Disney Cruise Line agents more than I've talked to my family over the past 10 days. And I just got to thank all my great guests over the Magic for Less. I love you guys. So I've sent half the planet on the ships.
They listen to us, thankfully, that now is the time to book those cruises. If you're considering summer 2025, do it now. This is the best price it's going to be.
Here's my beef. You all know my beef. I've even told Pam Forrester my beef on this, and I've told this to every agent. And the agents of the Disney Cruise Line agree with me. Why are you going to announce the name of the next ship right in the middle of the booking window?
Right.
For 2025 cruises. Like, seriously, couldn't you have not held this till the next Monday? Like, we don't need to know the name of that ship during this like crazy period when everybody's trying to platinum and gold and silver, and we're just trying to just stay above water. And I'm not trying to have X's in my eyes. I've been typing so much, like 17 hours a day. All of a sudden we get all this news about the name of the ship and the theme and all this. I mean, yeah, I'm excited about that, but holy cow, hold up, like PR person, just hold your jets.
Because now people are like, I want to book on the new ship, and you're like, well, I can't book you on the new ship.
100%.
Yes.
Anyway, but we can talk about it now. Now that I've lived through that week. Okay, so the Disney. What do we think? What do we think about the name, Rikki?
Okay. I hate the name. I cannot stand the name. I think it's awful. I mean, it just
we have the treasure and we have the adventure, and now we have the Destiny.
There were so many choices that they could go with, and Destiny was not. It was not in the top 10 for me. I know I'm not a fan. I think it's fine. It's the name of the ship, so that's what we're going with. But I'm not a fan of the name. I'm not a fan of the name at all. Like, I really kind of hate the name, but that's okay.
To me, I mean, it's not terrible, but it just doesn't seem like it meets the conventions of like the other ones. Like it does seem kind of like an outlier. It seems like another cruise line. Like,
I see that
name to me. I don't know. Pam, what are your thoughts on the Destiny? I mean, we won't even like be thinking about it after like 3 or 4 years.
I know, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I know that people felt one way or the other about the name. I honestly don't really even think of a ship's name after the initial point in time. I mean, I know what ship I'm sailing on, but that's about as far as it goes for me. I had other ideas for names, I guess. Maybe they should have given me a call since people feel about this. No, but I think that it will be interesting. I was more interested in the things that they told us that were going to be on the ship and the ship theme. Yes. And maybe that's where it sort of fits in a little bit, because we do have a sort of heroes versus villains sort of theme going on. So you sort of get to choose your destiny, or that becomes part of your destiny. So right?
Way to tie it in, which I know is probably the way that they were hoping to tie it in the first place.
Here's what I thought, and this is me being super meta. I didn't connect those dots, but that makes total sense, Pam.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Down there. But here's the thing, because you moved, because you disconnected. Now you're in a different spot in the call. But here's the thing. I don't know if you guys remember. Do you guys remember that song that sounded like it was Leanne Rimes that I think went with Mission Space back in the day on the soundtrack? It was called Destiny.
Oh, Destiny. Yeah.
On one of those Walt Disney World like official soundtracks.
Was it Kelly Coffey?
I don't know who it was, but it sounded exactly like Leanne Rimes. I swore it was Leanne Rimes that sang it. I was like, they just want to use that song. They just want to write that song.
I'm sure they're not bringing that back.
Yeah, they're probably not. But I was like, they're being cheap. They're going to try to use that song and not have to get a new song. It's just called the Destiny. But that's just me. Okay, so yeah, heroes and villains. Choose your own destiny. Choose your own adventure. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about theme. Rikki, what do you think about the heroes and villains?
The theme I actually like. I think it could go in quite a few different places when you get on the ship. So I mean, I'm certain that we're going to have villains themed lounges 100%. I can guarantee that. And I think that the heroes section will work well kind of on the upper decks. I think that'll be really, really popular there. And really, it's a great way to be perfectly honest, it's a great way to tie in Marvel. It's a great way to tie in Star Wars. And I think that they were looking for a really, really good way to tie both of those into this ship, since it doesn't seem like they're doing a whole lot of that with the treasure. So I think that this is going to be, if you're a fan of like those kind of adventures, I think this is probably the ship for you. So that's kind of what I get from this.
What are your initial thoughts, Pam? Where do we go with heroes and villains at sea?
So I keep thinking, like, there are some fantastic villains that deserve something. And I would love to see my girl Ursula getting some kind of lounge. I think that
on the ship,
that would be 100%. Fantastic, right?
Yeah.
And she's such a good villain, and she's at sea. Like, she's not the kind of villain that people were like, oh, I hated her or whatever. She was fun. She was a fun villain.
I mean, I didn't like her as Vanessa. I mean, let's be honest. Vanessa was not the best, but whatever.
But Ursula was a fantastic villain. I think Hades was a fun villain.
Hades is going to be great.
I would love to see Hades get some. I just am excited to see the villains get, some showcasing, and maybe we'll see some shopping, some theater shows, things like that, where these villains get to really stand out too. I just think there's lots of good opportunities there. And then I also am excited about the heroes thing. And I know that we always want to appeal to sort of the heroes that people are sort of keyed into, that people really dot into and they really associate with. But I always think that there's some opportunities for heroes that we don't get to hear very much about too. And I would love to see Disney sort of embrace that too.
So, well, I was going to say, like, how amazing would it be? Kind of Pam was talking about, Hades. First of all, he should definitely have some sort of bar lounge on the ship. Like, that would be amazing. But I feel like, and I know Hercules is not like the most up-to-date, story in the sense of like, it's been a while.
Should just be people that have run Disney marathon medals that get to go to Hercules bar.
There you go. Yes, that's also a good
baby.
That's a good choice. But can you imagine if they did like Hercules as the musical on the ship. And you know, it could kind of be in the same vein as, you know, the genie, but because I think they used to do something like this on Broadway or something like that, where they had Hercules, and I feel like it would just be such a great, you know, show in the theater, in the Walt Disney Theater. I think that would be a really fantastic idea.
They had a Hercules number in one of the shows for sure.
I'm sure they did, but to update, you know, the actual, you know, the I think there was a Broadway musical too, but if not, like if whether it was off Broadway, on Broadway, whatever. But I feel like that would be, it's ripe for, seriously, that ship. I feel like it would be so perfect, and you'd have like the sarcastic, great character of, you know, Hades, and I think that would work out so well.
Plus, Meg is like my favorite heroine is ever. Period. Like, she's the best. When I think about like who's you in real life? Maybe it's Meg. It might be Meg. I don't know. I just am like, you know, she's sort of like, you know. Yes. So I love seeing her. So.
Yes. Agreed.
So I was talking about, you know, I was talking to some of the agents about this too at Disney Cruise Line reservations, you know, about this news, and you know, we get excited about it too as travel agents. We're fans, and so are they. But then, you know, we're talking about the mechanics of this, like looking, you know, 2 years into the future, that, you know, Disney Cruise Line has gone from like, you know, you knew where every ship was because there wasn't that many ships, you know, a few years ago, to now it's going to take some brain power to think about, you know, in a few years, like where these ships are and where they're ported and where their, you know, itineraries are during different times of the year, because there's going to be quite a few ships now. I mean, it's going to be a for real fleet, you know, by the time the Treasure's sailing, you got the Wish now, and you're going to have, you know, you're going to have this ship, you're going to have the Destiny, and you're going to have to, because we were trying to, you know, I forget who I was talking to, one of the great agents over there, and we were thinking like, okay, so what is this? We're trying to play like fantasy Disney Cruise Line, you know, okay, so when this ship sails, and I thought, Pam, I mean, just real quick, I thought it was pretty aggressive to say this thing's not only going to be booking, but sailing in 2025. I was like, oh, be careful with that, Disney Cruise Line.
Right.
It's just me saying that, you know. I was like, easy PR person who had to drop the news this week. It's the same guy putting that out there. But
I know we really haven't had a ship make that inaugural sailing, right? I mean, it's not a great track record, I will say.
Do you know what the date is today, person? But anyway, right. So that's what I was saying, first of all. But then, you know, like when you think about it, like they are going to have to shuffle the ship. So, I mean, does the Destiny now take over the 3 and 4 night Bahamian runs because it'll be the new hotness, and they want to get that one kind of available to folks that are mixing it up with the, you know, with the Walt Disney World vacations, and get first timers on the Destiny, and then the Wish goes and sails 7-nighters, you know, or maybe the Wish goes to Europe and the Fantasy comes. It is interesting how, like, now with as many ships as Disney Cruise Line is going to have, I mean, who knows? The Wish could be sailing. They could move that out to California. You know, they could put that could be a permanently based ship out of California. It is with Cruise Line. They're going to have so many more options come 36 months from now, Pam. It's going to be incredible to see how
it will be. And I think that they're probably always going to want to keep those newer ships in that Florida area. But now we not only have Port Canaveral, we also have Fort Lauderdale, and that's going to become a home base of Disney as well. I think that's a great option too. So yeah, when you're right, Mike, I mean, there's the Wish, which most even Disney Cruise Line fans have not had the opportunity to sail on yet. There's going to be the Treasure. Yep. Then there's going to be the Destiny. So we have 3 ships that they're going to have to figure out how to keep in this area. I think you'll see Fort Lauderdale playing into this more. And I think with Brightline too, that sort of makes this something that is more attainable to sort of do a land and sea vacation, because you have that transportation, which has always been the hitch for folks wanting to do both. The only real solution was to rent a car. There were a couple of other things. Yeah, it is. And it's a boring drive.
It is very boring. I've done it.
You forget how boring Florida is until you make that drive down to Fort Lauderdale or Miami, and you're like, Lord.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yes. I mean, it's so, I mean, it's not bad. It's boring. There's nothing.
Very boring.
And here's the thing too, from St. Louis, flights to Lauderdale are cheap. Like they're to Lauderdale, they're not bad. They're cheaper than Orlando.
Yeah, and I think that will be true for a lot of different destinations. So I'll be interested to see what they do too. And now we also have 2 private islands, so that gives them a lot more, a different private island for people to go to. So they're not all just confined to that one, where basically they can, really only have 1 or 2 ships there at a time. So
yeah, I'm super stoked. I mean, I'll be honest, like I've been booking more cruise line for my guests than I have ever. And cruise line is my passion. So I love that I get to do that at the Magic for Less. And I love that my guests come to me when they want to book cruises, because I love sailing the ships. I love staying current on the ships. And, if you want to book a cruise, let's do this, because I've always said, man, you get your Disney fix on those ships, but it's so relaxing and it is so first class. I mean, it's a premium experience. I mean, Disney Cruise Line is a premium cruise line. It is head and shoulders out there. It's not the cheapest experience out there when you're going to book cruises, but it when you get on those ships. You're on a premium cruise line.
Yep.
It is first class. And so you're going to get to go to Lighthouse Point now. You're going to sail these first class ships that are just being built. It's amazing. I'm just telling you. Okay, so let's go on to the next thing. Drone show coming to Disney Springs.
There's a few.
Work out perfect for me. I can't wait to see the drones.
And we talked about the drones recently. They are not in the parks, but they are at Disney Springs.
Thank you, because I'm not going to have park tickets when I go down the night
before. There you go.
That's what we're going to do. This is going to be our entertainment. We'll probably go to Splitsville, grab some dinner, and watch the drones, because we'll be because it's going to be right there staged out of the west side again.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. They have that great area to watch it. So
can I just say, I'm so surprised that they are bringing back a drone show. Like, it's seriously
that little body of water there in Disney Springs.
It's a great location. I'm just really shocked that they are actually doing it. Mike, you've talked about for years, I'd love to see a drone show come back. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, Mike, yeah, sure. They're going to bring a drone show back, whatever.
I'd like to see $1 million in my mailbox.
Yeah, I know. Can we make this happen for us? Like, how do we get $1 million come in my pocket? I'd like to see $1 million. That I get to keep, not that I have to get. Disney Dreams That Soar is the name of the new drone show that is coming this summer. It kicks off on June 10th. And
my anniversary, by the way, so it's for me.
Seriously, it's going to be amazing. State-of-the-art drones are going to choreograph across the sky at Disney Springs, paired with a new musical score, as well as memorable Disney quotes. So the last time we had a drone show, it kicks off May 24th. Hang on, I think I had the wrong date. I have to double check that. Anyway, the last time we had a drone show was 7 years ago, back in 2016. So that's just amazing right there. I'm so shocked that they're bringing back drone. Like, I never thought we'd see a drone show come back. So that's incredible that they're doing this.
I knew we would. It was just a matter of time. It's the next technology. It just has to be ready. But this is here's why I think it's great what they're doing this. Disney Springs, it's non-ticketed, so nobody can complain because you're not paying for it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to go to guest services and say, if it doesn't happen one night, I didn't get my drone show. Well, you didn't pay anything, so who cares? You didn't pay for it, you didn't get it. Also, that's a very safe venue. Like, the water is away from people. And even with people over at Saratoga, there's a path, because they did this when we were down there. We saw it a couple times. Like, they can fly those drones, and I think they fly them out of a little space kind of behind Old Key West, where the drones take off and land, where they're never going to be over people. Yeah. And so it's a safe spot. But it is, I mean, when you see it, I'm telling you, get down there and see it this summer. It is, and I mean, it's been 7 years. The technology has to have gotten so much better in 7 years.
Yeah. And yes, I was right. It does debut on the May 24th. So I was like, wait, that doesn't seem right. Everything else, by the way, that I'll talk about here in a second, debuts on June 10th. That's why June 10th was in my head. So it debuts for Memorial Day weekend, which is going to be awesome, because I'll be down there for Memorial Day weekend. So I will get to see it.
That's when Tiana's Bayou Adventure opens.
Don't start that. Hey, you know what though? What's today's date? Hang on. I think this week we're supposed to get an announcement about Tiana's, maybe. So
just ready to rock right now. But
just throwing that out there. I mean, we've got Imagineers testing it, so it's coming sooner rather than later. And I
said the 4th of July a long time ago. People like, nope, September. But I was closer. So if I was on the Price is Right, I would be up on stage playing a pricing game.
I honestly thought Tiana's was going to open at Memorial Day weekend, but I've said that for a while.
No.
I have definitely said that for a while. Yes, I did.
$1 bid. No, I did not hear you say that.
I've said. No. I don't think we've had a discussion on the podcast between us about it, but I've always thought it would open for Memorial Day weekend. But
I said the 4th of July because it's an American holiday and it's an American ride because it's an American thing. But
we still one of us could still be right. So I mean, it's not like I'm saying 4th of July like you are.
Yeah, but you're coming in with like a late $1 bid.
No, I'm not coming in with a late $1 bid.
I think that is all right. Pam Forrester, well, give us the next story because the drone's gonna be cool. Okay,
yeah. So there's a few extra things that are happening this summer for Walt Disney World. So the first thing is we are finally getting the walls to come down at Epcot. That is June 10th is when those walls come down. And at that point, we are going to have the debut of the Communicore Plaza and the Communicore Plaza stage. And we are going to have finally an Encanto sing-along. So if you have, want to start talking about Bruno, now will be the time. And it's going to be really fun. I'm really excited about this as well. And I'm surprised it took this long because if you remember back when Frozen was so huge, they like busted out Frozen sing-along so quickly. And so I thought for sure we'd have an Encanto sing-along like last year or something. Nope, it took till this year, but I guess they needed the stage. So, that's exciting that we're getting the Encanto sing-along and the opening of Epcot in the middle section is going to be opening up. So that's really nice to see. We're getting there. Is
it an outside stage?
It looks like it's sort of from the picture that they have, and keep in mind it's concept art, but it's definitely covered and it looks like it's like, I can't tell if it's outdoors or if there's a glass window behind it, but I'm going to say it's probably outdoors, but it's definitely
Tarzan rocks.
Yeah, there's no seating either. It looks like from the picture, it looks like there's definitely kids sitting on the floor. So I'm not entirely sure what this stage is going to be like when we get to it.
Pam Forrester, are you going to talk about Bruno at this concert venue?
Sure, I will go and see it. I will tell you, I know that people love Encanto. And
Pam is not one of them.
I'm really happy for those people.
I've not seen the movie, so I don't even know what to tell Bruno.
Pam is not one of them. Okay, got it. Perfect. Noted.
No, I mean it's just I think everyone has their favorite movies. And I'm thrilled when people make a connection with a Disney movie, even when I don't. So I'm happy to see them get some of this. Like surely there hasn't been enough Encanto in the parks. Question mark.
There really hasn't been though. I mean, if you remember back to the Frozen Frenzy and just all the Frozen stuff they busted out, and then you look at Encanto and they've had like almost nothing. They have a meet and greet now, and they have Bruno in a cavalcade at the Magic Kingdom, and that's pretty much it. So
we're not supposed to even see Bruno. So the fact
that's true. We're not. So the fact that he's there, wow. But.
Yeah, I think it'll be good to have what I think is also always a good thing is to have another show in Epcot because this, especially in what used to be called Future World. Can we get a symbol for that?
Hey, I remember the front part is called World Discovery there, but it is Future World.
World Discovery, formerly known as
X, formerly known as Twitter, Future World Discovery, formerly known as Future World. That's
right, agreed. So I think that's always a good thing, especially up in the front part of the park, because there just aren't, a lot of shows there that we see. So and a lot of entertainment. So that will be a good thing. And again, I don't begrudge other people getting to see their favorites. So I'm excited for them.
That's awesome. Yes. Okay, good. All right. We've got two smaller news pieces that have also come out this week for the summer. The first one is, and they're definitely small, but you have Joy, who is the star of now Inside Out 2. She will be moving from Epcot to Disney's Hollywood Studios this summer. She will be found in that Pixar Plaza area where you can meet Edna Mode. currently, and she won't be replacing Edna Mode, but she'll be found in that area.
Because no one can replace Edna.
No one can replace Edna. That's true. Fabulous. No. I will be curious as to who replaces Joy, though.
I thought you that, didn't I? That. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Joy can be replaced.
Joy can be replaced. Yes.
I'm grabbing my Joy right now because I'm starving. But go ahead.
Oh my gosh. Well, I got one more thing to talk about. Okay, and then you can go get your Taco Bell. Okay. So the last thing that I have to talk about. And I kind of think it's funny because we've done this before. We're going to celebrate the Lion King this summer at Disney's Animal Kingdom because it is apparently the 30th anniversary.
Oh my God, I'm so old.
I know. I watched the Lion King religiously because I was in love with Jonathan Taylor Thomas. And he was the voice of Simba. So the fact that we're coming out
cartoon
on the 30th, I mean, the fact that we're coming, I wasn't in love with the lion. I was in love with the voice of the lion. So the fact
that might be weird.
No less awkward. No less awkward. I'm gonna say. I don't know that.
I thought it might make me sound better. It didn't.
No, it didn't.
That made it 10 times worse.
Just
Go ahead.
odd, but okay.
It's fine. I'm just gonna move on.
But let's wrap up the show.
It seems like yet another celebration of the Lion King, and we've had a few others.
We have, because I literally actually went back through my pictures, and I had a picture of a banner that literally said "Celebrating the Lion King," and I was like, "Oh, hey, we're doing this again." That was for the 25th anniversary. So it was 5 years ago that we did this the last time.
That is such a good show, though, over at Animal Kingdom.
Yes,
if you're not seeing that, you're doing it wrong.
I agree.
It is. So anyway, we're going to celebrate the Lion King. They're bringing out the Pumbaa popcorn bucket again, and I'm sure the Timon sipper. And if you really want to meet the characters, you can go to Rafiki's Planet Watch and see Timon as well as Rafiki. And you can also learn how to draw characters at the animation experience.
And if you take that train over there, you deserve to have some character meet and greet.
You sure do. You sure do. So anyway, we've done this once before, literally 5 years ago. So yay for the celebration of the Lion King again. I don't know.
Lion King, that is such a good movie, though.
It's a great movie.
Great movie.
It's a good movie, good story, lots of things to celebrate there. I can get behind that one.
That's the one you can get behind, but the Encanto one, you're like, a little late.
I said I was very excited for people who like it.
I took the chance, like going to jail every year. I showed that to my class, even though I was scared Disney would throw me in the pokey.
Oh my!
Now that I'm not teaching anymore, I'll say I probably shouldn't say it on this podcast, but I did.
You've passed the statute of limitations.
I hope so, because I mean,
so you'll be okay.
Lesson, like we taught a lot of lessons. Anyway, we are getting out of here. It's time to give everybody. You got to get ready for Easter. You got to get the deviled eggs going. Whatever your recipe is, I hope it's great.
I make the best deviled eggs. I know you said your sister-in-law. I make the best.
I'll take all deviled eggs.
Okay.
Isn't it weird that deviled eggs, something called deviled, is what you have for Easter?
Brian has brought up the same point. I don't know what to say about the fact that Mike and Brian think alike.
I always say that. That is the most ironic thing ever, that over Easter, you're eating something, and I just crave these things. Deviled eggs.
Yep.
It's the weirdest thing ever. Anyway, that's your thought to ponder as you sit in church on Sunday.
No, you're not pondering the actual message of the church.
Why am I going to crush deviled eggs here in about an hour? It just, that's what you're going to think about. All right. We are out of here. Don't forget our shows. We want to see you on the Discord, though, all weekend. It's a lot of fun. Come over. The conversation never stops. We talk about this show. We help each other plan great trips. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Discord. And just our community is always hanging out there. We're talking fun stuff over there all the time. So come on over and join us. Also, the show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure. If you want to book a cruise, again, it costs exactly the same as booking directly with Disney Cruise Line. And we give you onboard credits, which you can use for adult dining, spa appointments. You cannot use them for gratuities. I will find you and be mad if you use them for gratuities, because that's no fun. But you can use them for drinks. You can use them for souvenirs, whatever you want. Have fun with that, but it costs you exactly the same. So why not book with us and get first-class service to boot? And also Walt Disney World, Disneyland, all that stuff. So come on over, join us at themagicforless.com. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate links. That supports us. One extra click. It's all it takes. beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon, and support us as well on Patreon. Thanks to those who do. We appreciate that so much. Just $5 a month. And you'll get a bonus show every week. It's called Mike in the Midwest. So come on over, patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give us a follow on social media. Pam's at TMFLT Pam. She'll be a great follow because she's headed out to sea next week. Rikki is always a great follow for all the great news. She's at Rikki Nibs. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike. You want to see me jump on the treadmill every morning and sometimes some great sports talk and other stuff. Just follow me, Be Our Guest Mike, on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. Not Twitch, Threads. That's the other one.
That's the one.
Forgot. And of course, we'll have a live call-in show this Sunday night. So join us on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and Twitch and Instagram. 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. We'll be taking your calls and having a good time. We'll probably even call Scott if he's still at Walt Disney World. I don't know if it will be, but maybe. All right. So we're going to get out of here and wish you a great weekend and a happy Easter. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Woo! That was fun.
Yay!
Newsy and funny.
We did it.
We'll have a happy Easter, y'all.
Thank you.
Happy Easter.
Mike,
everybody.
remind me, is it Tuesday that you need to record next week?
I'll text you. It's either this week or next week that she has that banquet.
Let me know, because my in-laws are watching Lucy on Easter. So if it's Monday, I can probably do it. If it's Tuesday, I probably can't.
I think it's in 2 weeks, though.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
But I will ask. But I think we're good for next Monday.
Okay, we'll figure it out. All right, cool.
But I think it's in 2 weeks.
All right.
Have fun,
All right.
Pam.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.